Hey, how you going? A lot of people ask me when I tell them that I did the Bibbulmun track just the other month, and we get talking. They go, "Oh, where did you sleep? And were there toilets? And what was the track like?" And those sorts of questions. And I thought I would show you because I've come out for a bit of a day hike, and I thought I would show you a campsite, like a hut, a Bibbulmun hut, just to put people's minds at ease. And so if we just turn around here, this is a Bibbulmun track hut. And we just came from a little access track behind us. You'll see over here over my shoulder, that's the track coming in. And you know, it's pretty good. Like there's a campfire here, so some of the northern huts have campfires, the southern huts don't. The hut's pretty well protected from weather. These huts are really have a lot of feel to them, whereas some of the modern huts are a bit more clinical. You know, sort of like there's some rammed earth ones that are have a little bit of a funny feeling, but these huts over here, they have great amenities. There's a couple of water tanks over here. You've got 2 water tanks over here that got rainwater, and in summer you probably want to have a little think about making sure that you have enough water to go from hut to hut. But in winter, every one of these tanks was full and overflowing. I did it in the wettest winter that WA had seen in 100 years, so I don't know what that tells you about certain narratives out there, but these huts are awesome. They've got a nice big table for you know, for eating on. These are the sleeping bunks. You've got a bunk that can probably fit about 2 people on it, so if you've got you know, you're hiking with your partner or something like that and the hut's full, where you can fit 2 people on the top hut. With you know, relatively, you can hang your bag up on the hooks around the hut. Generally there's hooks up the back, or hooks on the wall, or hooks on the post up here. You'll see up here. This bottom section through here, that can have, well, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, about 8 people on it. So you can fit about 10 to 15 people in this hut, which is pretty good. And let me just head over here. You've got up the back there, not far, and this is a pretty good hut. Up there is a toilet, a drop toilet. And around the huts you'll see lots of information that will tell you about the hut. And this is it's just saying there's some campsites up there, some tent sites, and there's a toilet, and go that way. Pretty easy, and I will give you some advice about the toilets. Okay, so the toilet is it's a drop toilet. So if people don't know what that is, there's a metal tin in there, sort of thing, like with a toilet seat on it, and it goes into a hole where everyone's crap literally drops. So there's no flushing, there's no water, and you can only take, you can only use what do they say, compostable material in there, flushable compostable material. You don't want to be using the chemicals or anything, because it will ruin the bacteria in there and the toilet will start to stink. So I don't know, I'll get away from it a bit, but that's essentially a drop toilet on the Bibbulmun hut. Most of them look like that. The rammed earth ones, they look a bit fancier. So you know, you get to one of those and you go, wow, this looks like a little hotel toilet, maybe. But in here, there's a little latch to keep you safe from prying eyes, I suppose, and in there is the toilet. You know, you can hear some flies buzzing around, but it's really not that bad. I think they're just hanging around. Now, my advice to you is, sometimes there's toilet paper in there, sometimes there isn't. But my advice is to have a comfortable hike. Bring some like compostable wet wipes with you. These were gold. They've got no chemicals or no fragrance in them. and they are awesome. Like you end up having quite at least being clean down there, and that is a comfortable hike because you're not sweating in your own filth. So this is essentially the Australian bush. That was the toilet. This is what the very northern section looks like, and I'm just going to walk over to a tent site now. Some of the sites varying. Now, I never used my tent when I did the Bibbulmun. I was lucky enough to do it in a period when there was no people, not a lot. There was about 25 people on the track, and there was plenty of room in all the huts. But this is essentially what a tent site looks like. It's just an open ground area. They're not fancy, but they're close to the hut. And if we just go around to a better one over here, this is much bigger one over here. So if you've got a large tent, you might want to use this tent site. And you can see the huts in the background, and the toilet's just up yonder. And but depending on the time of the year, this ground could be quite hard. So you might want to think about whether you need to bring a mallet or whether you need to bring something that's lightweight. Get a lightweight hammer that you can get the pegs in, especially if that's what you're intending on doing, using a tent all the time. I think that the huts were awesome. I never even got my tent out until the last few huts, but you can see here there's a tent sign there. What I really liked about the northern huts was the campfire. I loved getting to a hut, busting it out as early as I could, getting to a hut and starting a campfire. And one of the key things here is to make sure you have a very clean, and this is an excellent clean campfire. Like sometimes, like at Chedora, I was very disappointed. There was lots of rubbish in there, but it was very disappointing to see all that rubbish in there. And people often go, "Oh, did you get lost on the Bibbulmun?" And if you look over here on that sign, there's these markers, and they're quite prolific. However, at junctions and it's raining and your head's down and you're not paying attention, you can miss one of these. And if you miss one of these, you can get lost. And I did 3 times. Anyway, that's about it. I'm just out for a morning day hike, so there's nothing really. I've got nothing really amazing to do. And just out of interest, in each of the huts is a logbook. You've got the Canning campsite trail book, and you can write little poems or something that you found interesting on the track, or you want to talk to people about, or leave a message for someone that's coming along behind you. Maybe I hutted on. And then you've also got the trail logbook, and you fill this out in order to make sure that the Bibbulmun Society knows how many people are using the track, and what effort and money they need to use or get to further on progression or improvements on the track. And this is important to fill out, because then they get funding for making these wonderful huts. But this is I didn't stay at Canning when I was on the track. I hutted through to Mononadocks, and this hut I got here and it just looked beautiful. The scenery out there was just amazing, and I thought I should really come back and visit it and have a sit down. And so it's only 8 k's in from the Brookton Highway. Parking area there, and so it's like a really nice walk. It's not a lot of hills, it's just quite gradual. I did an amazing speed today getting out here. I did about 6.2 kilometers an hour on average, and I was really happy with that. I was here in an hour and a half. 8 k's in an hour and a half, that's pretty good. That's faster than I can walk on the bitumen. Yeah, so well, I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you think it's got some value. And maybe we'll see you in the Aussie bush. Just hiking back. I got a couple of kilometres to go. Not many. Back to the car. So it's pretty easy hike. This way is a bit harder. Going back to the car's harder. So going north is harder than going south, because just climbed up this hill. And you can see this beautiful. Just get my gold so I can get the camera right. See this beautiful scenery out there. It's just amazing views, and you know, it's so good for you, this hiking stuff. I have never been a hiker before, and yeah, it's liberating, freeing, and if you're having a bit of trouble with the modern world, then you should certainly go for a bit of a hike. Now you can see this is the track down here in there, in that part of the camera. Yeah, and so go off to another, so I'm heading up this way. And yeah, it's a good little hike. It's 16 k's in, out. I sat down for about half an hour, made that little video, and now I'm heading back to the car to continue the mundaneness of modernity. But yeah, I mean, what are you going to do when you come out and you see this sort of scenery? How are you going to feel? Like, there is trees everywhere. Like, satellite images don't do it justice how many trees are out here. And I suppose, as much as I don't agree with everything governments do, they provide this beautiful track. It's really well maintained by a really good group of volunteers. Sometimes they don't get it right. That's okay. We are all in that boat. But this is a beautiful world when you're out here doing what you should be doing, which is moving and breathing air and getting fresh air and not wearing restrictive face coverings. And you know, I think what a wonderful place the bushland of Australia is. Yeah, I said I was gone, and so I'm gone now. Bye.